Are you? Okay, so we're gonna do your readings. My connection's been a little bit funny this morning, so do let me know that you're getting the messages. My intention with tarot is divine guidance and loving clarity. If you resonate with the channel, with the brand, with myself, of course, then please feel free to subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment, share if you think these might be useful to people you know. So this is for Cancer, anybody resonating with the Cancer vibratory. So this Three of Swords just popped out in the reverse, healing from heartbreak. But we'll get more cards for clarity. So divine guidance and loving clarity. I'll remind you guys, you are your own power. You're your own master. And truly the cards and externals don't, we can be triggered and have things sort of come up for us. But we are, I believe anyway, we are truly our own power. So let's get into it. As the title says, I'm an intuitive, so I'm an intuitive reader. Your working life is playing a major focus here. Wanting to create more stable foundations for yourself. Some of you are taking a little bit of time out to reflect on a love situation here. What's this Three of Swords? Rising like the Empress. Rising like the Empress, or connected to Empress energy. Three of Swords, I still want more clarity. Divine guidance, loving clarity for this Three of Swords energy for Cancer. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius reverse. So there's an air sign and a fire sign. A king and a queen. Doesn't really matter the genders, but I am getting a strong sense this would be a couple. This is a broken heart. So the Empress energy to me is representative of healing the broken heart and moving from the sort of status of king, queen to emperor or empress. So there is a rising up of yourself, of your sense of power. A lot of power theme here. Your sense of power, creativity, self-worth. It could be to do with parents or our upbringing, our guardians growing up, healing a deeper wound as such. So, okay, a few layers of messages. Some of you could be experiencing a type of spiritual awakening or dark night of the soul, or these sorts of themes that are helping you rise and heal from this brokenheartedness, whether it's, say, your parents going through a breakup, or memories of childhood when your parents broke up that broke your heart, or a relationship that ended for you that you are still healing from. And this would be a air sign and a fire sign couple. Okay. So, yeah, there's definitely a sense of really having to empower your worth, your creative expression. Some of you could be taking a bit of space or time out from the Two of Cups reversed in this context is making me feel like the relationship you're in, but you pulling away a little bit, or the other person. Just a typical, like, the Hermit is here supporting the connection. So letting ourselves take that time to me is often a great sign of respect in these types of dynamics where I need time on my own. And it's true, right? This is part of healing from things like betrayal, is that people can say they need time on their own, but what they're meaning is time to play the field or do something like this. But this is a genuine request of space to, like, self-reflect, ponder. Part of you are working really, really hard. I say part of you. A large number of you say are really getting stuck in, or just having to focus on the pentacles, having to focus on working hard. And this is for you anyway. The hard work is about establishing a strong foundation that you can grow from. This is challenging at the minute, though. It might not feel like this is happening at all for you. Hence where the love connection is asking a little space, and or this is just the situation you're in, where you or the other person is having to work really hard, so you're feeling a little bit detached or separated, or like not as focused on the romantic love side of things, like the connection, as it were. Okay, so for some of you, there is a little bit of a deeper layer here being expressed in the cards with regards to the love connection, but it's intertwined possibly with the balancing of the physical material world, right? Balancing our pentacle could be connected to some of our relationships not being in balance. And okay, this is where this month of April is a big one, as far as some big transits happening astrologically, which could really seemingly disrupt things, or out of the blue change the course of our lives. There is a tower here reversed. Sometimes when it's reversed, it could be like we're just not aware of it coming, or we might be even in denial of making certain changes. Because this is about imbalance. There's legit the Two of Pentacle reverse. So it's like trying to balance ourselves, but not quite managing to get that sense of balance. But there's a Tower moment, which is telling us there's a plus Three of Pentacle reverse. There's something that just isn't foundationally secure. That's often what those Tower moments are. We might be at the top of the tower thinking everything's all right, and then suddenly the foundations start to shake. If those foundations are rotten, the whole structure is coming down. So it would appear that there are certain functional, sort of foundational structures that aren't secure. They aren't functioning properly. Okay, so there could be things that happen that disrupt things, and it feels uncomfortable, or it seems like, oh, fuck-a-doodles, everything's gonna come apart now, everything's gonna come undone. But what this is doing is kind of clearing the way for new love. Or I often think of the Ace of Cups as a renewal of our sense of selves, that gentle ushering of a healed heart, right? Because this central card that came through is this Three of Cups, nope, Three of Sword, the Three of Sword reverse, which would be potential, heartache and betrayal, or any of the mishmash that goes along with feeling the grief and pain in our heart space. Most of you was probably dealt with our childhood and or previous relationship. There's a sense of coming into your wholeness, working on yourself, feeling valuable, feeling worthy. And yet there's likely to be some shakeups or things that happen that really force us to see things for what they are, to see people for who they are, to see situations for what they are, and to focus on regenerating our own heart and creative outpouring, our sense of value and worth, and what is that, and how do I express that into the world, and how do I feel renewed. Okie dokie. So let's start to get some layers of guidance here, divine guidance and living clarity for Cancer in these various situations. Again, you guys take what resonates, leave the rest, right? That's part of why the tarot astrology reads, we put out free content to share, and it can be, obviously, I find lots of free content super duper valuable, right? And yet most of us are promoting our businesses as well, right? So there's a sense of, if it resonates, feel free to book a private reading. Personalized private readings are more likely to specifically target your very personal situation, right? Divine guidance, loving clarity for Cancer. For some of you, this is something, I'm hearing the message behind closed doors. Okay, so this is making me think of like there just are some things that you're likely going through mentally, physically, emotionally, more in the psyche, in the Nine of Swords reverse, that's behind closed doors. I'm also getting a think of like the past. There are times where we just have to be able to shut the door on the past. The healing is spontaneous, I dare say, often by just becoming more conscious and self-aware and self-responsible. The healing just happens, right? But there's something about the mental angst of a previous situation, a situation that the cards would tell me that you're over it. So this is a situation from the past. This is heartbreak, betrayal, pain, ending of the past, or even our long past, or even you could say karma, or past lives, future lives, whatever. But there's something here about having to kind of close the door on the mental clutter that we're going over and over. Hence where I think some of you are just trying to focus on the work. Back over here, I can see the Hierophant and the King of Cups. So this energy is making me think of a benevolent force coming to support a higher power. Coming in. Cancer as well, right? Cancer, this is you, King of Cups, higher power, relying on the higher power. I mean, yeah, okay, at one point, that Hierophant could have been representative of like a priest, or I think of like those official people we go to get things done or get paperwork sorted. And then again, there could be just some like having to lean into some faith, having to really lean into your higher power, your higher self as well. Key, there's something about the key. You might move. There could be a new metaphysical sense of you having unlocking the key through the relationship to your higher self and or a higher power, again, church or a priest, or something or someone or some organization that we might perceive as a higher order. There's like you claiming the key of like, okay, I'm gonna claim this power for myself, or I'm even gonna go to somebody and have them give me that power or give me that key. It's like getting a training or something. It's like getting a certificate or doing something that enables you to, like, I guess, feel more powerful, right? It's like about your mind, and feeling more in dominion of your mind. So that could be even like a meditation teacher or something like this, because I'm seeing the connection now with focusing on the work, rebalancing. But there's this old stuff and just mental clutter that is really probably doing a disservice to your sense of emotional, physical, mental well-being. So going to again, like in a priest or a higher power, or just a guru or a teacher or someone that can help you claim the key for yourself, and I guess, in a sense, shut the door on the painful past. Moving, rising yourself up to move to calmer waters. There's an essence of consciousness here, of like bringing things to consciousness to enable you to move forward. Oh, I just saw some ships there, so I'm like, oh, some ships could be coming in to support you as well. So that's positive. I just flipped Lover's energy, so I'm like, there's some beautiful energy kind of flying in here. But I'm thinking that's closer to the end of the month, and this is moving through some of these more turbulent energies or shocking energies that seemingly hit us by surprise. It's often in reflective times that we then look back at situations and go, holy shit, that that little thing changed everything, So we're kind of in those, and there's probably part of you psychically that is feeling it anyway, right? Hence where you might be feeling like, I just need to take space from this thing, or I can't quite seem to get that structured foundation. I'm not quite aligning. So you're focusing on yourself, you're focusing on your work, right? You're focusing on that sense of stability, and then just trust in the divine. Whatever is really truly not stable for your best future, it's gonna come a crumbling down. And yeah, those crumbles can be like, whoa. And yet on the other side we go, wowzers, that was fantastic. Actually, that was great that thing didn't work out, because now I'm opening up to this, and this just is way better. You just can't make it up. You just and there's another key. I'm like, Cancer, this is all about you unlocking the key to your own wisdom, your own faith, your own personal power and desires, because you do have the key. You are the personal power in your reality. We all are. And you're gonna, I always hear the expression, paint the town red. You're gonna, it's like, wipe the slate clean so that your stage is open and free and clear for you to create the story you want, for you to paint the town however you like, paint the stage however you like. This is the stage of your life, right? Yeah, so there's hence Empress. This is also the central kind of theme in support of healing that broken heart, letting it go, coming into a greater sense of wholeness. Again, integrated wisdom keeps coming up in these readings, coming into a greater sense of wholeness and integrated wisdom for all that you've been through. And then it's like graduating to the next level of your life. You know, Cancer, I gotta say, this is, there's turbulence, there's possibly a lot of instability, there's bordering like exhaustion, burnout for some of you, and then the financial freedom. I'm like, whatever it is you're working for is coming into a culmination peak to like manifest itself, and yet you're just having to keep your head down and keep working. I want to say to you guys, you're doing all the right stuff. It's probably this sort of push through because you're not seeing it, and that not seeing it is making you like unclear, or making you feel like you don't have as much as you would like to give in certain relationships. Communication will indeed be helpful, as far as just that clear communication. For example, hermit mode, taking a hermit mode while we're in a relationship in any given thing of like, I need to take a bit of a break to find my light, to find my essence, to find my joy, so that I can express in greater wholeness and integrity. Thus, the things that don't reflect that and or are not in alignment with that future you're creating in the now, it will either be exposed, or it will, through out of control serendipitous events, take away the things that are not part of the new structural foundation that we're intending to create. And bearing in mind, things like tower moments can often be like activation moments. They trigger us, right? It's triggery. It's like, so it's in those triggers that the body mind can often go through these really radical perspective shifts, right? Trusting, yeah, just kind of trusting the divine orchestration of things. It's not easy, right? When we've been through a lot, or we've gone through a lot of trauma, and we've got these sort of shadows and emotional waves that can come through in the here now that really aren't our future, but they're like the remnants of, they're the residue of what we've experienced. And so there's sometimes this wave like releasing, grieving, letting go of all that shit to then have these greater moments of stillness and clarity just within ourselves, right? These greater expanses of clarity. Imagine without lighting it, it's just darkness, and or this might be a faint glimmer of this stage, and then bosh, lighting up that stage one by one through your own powerful intent and projection. That's why sometimes I just really genuinely feel this, really it's warranted for us to be on our own, spend time on our own. It was warranted to have phases of our adulthood, maybe single, and like, to what does it feel like to really focus on our own self from a loving and compassionate place? What is all this healing stuff? What is a strong foundation in truth? So many of us, I think we get kind of sidetracked, but it, again, discernment, but we think it's all about the money, but it's so much more intricate and multi-layered with regards to how we support ourselves, how we resource our our needs, right? Which are kind of evolving, changing, and fluctuating in this sort of great mystery. So evolving from that space of innocence into greater love and compassion for self, and then continuing to discern our interactions and our relationships based on that primary relationship. There is a sense of new love. There is very much a sense of new beginning, mentally, emotionally, and yet some of you might have to take a bit of time out to really like let go, really heal, and then trust the things that might appear like breakdowns or disruptions or huge challenges or things just being taken away or things that create like more instability. We've got to keep learning to kind of dig in deeper within self to trust. I think sometimes we just get caught up in the chaos, basically, right? It's like being in a storm and just being taken from one gust of wind to the raindrop to the da rather than being this like grounded, immovable stillness that is observing the totality around you, right? So broadening that perspective, that's an Empress quality. Very grounded, very powerful. There is support around you, Cancer, and it really is time to believe in yourself, to know what you want, to know your worth, and to like generate it from the roots down. Like grounding. I'm getting a visual of a tree. Like this Empress has roots beneath her what I want to say crown, but it's not crown. Like her seat, her throne. So there's like roots growing down into the earth, and she's the benevolent forest as much as she is the sun, right? The soul connected. So there's a great sense of power and wholeness. Wholeness being for the whole. You know, that's what these healing revelatory experiences of, you know, initiations and then integration phases where we are really empowered to more of our sort of cosmic essence and blissful states, and yet it's grounded in the field of the earth. So there's a practicality as well, a here now presence and practicality. Some of you too, I think there's a final message here about some of you probably are like healers or something, maybe through sound. I'm hearing that sing sweet nightingale, which was in Cinderella, curiously. I think the sisters sang that weirdly, but there's something about, there's something very healing about the ordinary. And again, maybe just singing at night or sound therapy, sound healing, getting really grounded. I feel this is part of that empathic, intuitive sort of psychic qualities, is like you can feel it. I can feel the benefit of this, like slowing down. Go walk. And again, hermit mode. In this ordinariness card, there's just one figure. So you taking time powerfully in your integrity, in wholeness for yourself to just slow the body mind down. And these things that are often thrown out, talked about in these different worlds of well-being, they're, it's not in our head. It's that's in endeavoring. There's a sensitivity that's part of our power. And there's of course polarity to being more sensitive, hence responsibility to remain grounded, centered, and disciplined in our practices, right? But we do, all have that connection. It's just that when we're too busy in the head, monkey mind, as people call it, we don't feel. We're just not connected to the body. We're constantly being pushed and pulled and distracted, right? So practices that bring about self-reflection, as part of self-study, help us become more self-aware, and then help us become more powerful and or effective or clear or conscious or whatever word, to be a channel and or a life that has the ability to free itself from this confine. So we live the truth, we live the expression of our truth, not mentally sort of absorbing it and then just regurgitating. That's not embodied wisdom. So there's an aspect of sharing on that level, but not necessarily learning. And then the further deeper is the embodiment. Hence, somebody could read lots and lots of books about, say, yoga practice, but unless they actually practice the various elements of that tradition or the books they're reading by doing the practices, you can imagine that's going to be a different thing, like talking about fitness versus actually going to the gym and or working on our fitness. So you know what I mean. And of course, look at here now, we're all sort of talking heads. So on many levels we think, well, this is just talking about it, but there's a difference. It's a difference in how we connect and feel and sense when we're in these relationships. Even on our screens, a lot of us can feel the authenticity of that expression and or embodied wisdom, or whatever it might be. We're discerning those energies as we go. So Cancer, you are moving to calmer waters. There's a sense definitely of just taking that little bit of time for you to reflect, know what you want, know your worth. There is a bit of a glow up energy here, especially from looking at some of the pain that you've experienced in the past, or instability, betrayal sometimes, I think, with the Three of Swords and that Nine of Swords energy. So you're healing, you're doing good work. It's just gonna things might still be a bit bumpy before you really start to feel that ushering of new and that ushering of wholeness. And I dare say all the right people will still be there and still be around. And I get that too. Like, for some people, if they are not truly in alignment, the more authentic we become, the more honest we become as the self, those people that don't match that, or not that authentic, or are having manipulation vibration or slight deceptions, right? Which there, I don't, no harm, no foul. It's like, I think we're all doing our best, and we all sort of can act out some of these aspects just through living life. And then through self responsibility and inner work and honesty, we can bring more realness to the table, right? So I feel like this is a huge integration phase, transition. And then having the Ace of Cups as like this outcome, with Empress holding all of this, I'm thinking your just success is guaranteed. And then the Ten of Cups right next to the Empress. I'm like, of course, that's what an Empress or an Emperor would create. The Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacle, all the money, all the financial freedom, all the stuff, right? So for a lot of you, that's what you're aiming for, and that's what's here in this reading. So trust the process. Rather than getting all muddled in any stressful triggers, try to have that practice of pulling back. So rather getting all wrapped up in your drama or other people's drama, notice it. Be like, the drama, it's taking me. And then say, I think I'm going to go away for the weekend, or I'm going to just take a little bit of alone time to process and reflect. Get your journals out, right? And even things like that, I'm hearing, book those readings. Go get an astrological reading. Go get a tarot reading. Go get those things that can help deepen your sense of connection, right? Because that's the Hierophant energy to, like, going to a guru, going to even maybe counselor, or it was for some of you, a religious person, someone who just has some sort of authority that you trust, that can help clear your mind. So it's like exacting Ace of Swords. You're like, okay, this is it. This is what I'm going for, bosh. And then you have that momentum to express and create. So Cancer, there is your reading for the month of April. Look forward to moving through it all with you guys. If you enjoyed that video, if you found it useful, feel free to comment. I always love to read your guys' comments, and like and subscribe and do all that juicy good stuff on the internet for small businesses. Super duper appreciate all of you. Cancer, look after yourselves this month. You're doing really great work. I'll see you soon. Take care. Peace out.